All right, let's see what we got here. I heard the beep, so we should be good. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer, and essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help people to become Christ-like, Buddha-like, Krishna-like, and what that simply means is that I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, in this channel, to give is to receive. What we do here is that we use what I call the power of words for me to help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, when we're talking about the power of words, here's what a lot of people don't understand, right? I mean, just to give you a little bit of background or understanding, right, about what I mean by it. Um, like when you hear certain quotes, when you hear what people would call like parables or old saying, wise saying, they go by so many different names, or even poetry for that matter, right? What you see in these things, there's a certain structure, right? And then what happens is, that's why you'll see a lot of speakers, we understand how to talk to people. We move crowds, and we're able to do that by, the word as association and also using paradoxes. So the key to being or to power of words is how things are being said. It's not the objective meaning of a particular word that makes it powerful. I mean, if you're looking at it from that perspective, all you're seeing is just it's a transmitter. So a lot of you guys use words as a transmitter. Technically, you transferring your thoughts and ideas, a way to communicate to other people. But here's when the quality of it comes in. Here's where the magic happens. And that's why I call it the power of words. It's how you say things. In the how now, then the one thing you notice, and that's what poetry does to us, it's like it creeps up on you. It opens you up in ways that is fucking unbelievable. When you hear a certain way, like a way that people say certain words, it's like it automatically bypass your conscious mind. Because you have to understand that, like, this is not even about being logical. Because even when we having a conversation, now for you to understand what I'm saying, you have to be at a certain level, and vice versa. That's why, like, have you ever thought, like, although you already know how to read and write, but as you go to, let's just say, to the next grade, you still have to go, you still have a teacher. What the teacher's doing is not teaching you how to read or write. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't need a teacher. But what the teacher's doing now is helping you, is giving you the understanding of what you're reading. That's when now you get to go home and do the practice and shit like that. So what they're really doing to you, so that's why none of it is logical. So we're not saying, I know for me personally, when I say like logic, when I'm trying to show you the limitation in logic, it's not to bash it. It's not to say, fuck being logical. No, 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 not at all. But it's for you to understand what logic is and to use it for exactly what it is. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, because when you understand that, that's how you're able to become truly in harmony by using your logic and your emotions at the same time. It becomes a problem now when you become over logical, or you know what I'm saying. Now you're not properly balanced because now you're looking at everything from a logical perspective, and when you do, it's you become unbalanced because life is not as logical as it appears to be. There are certain things that requires for you to be illogical. Your intuition sometimes. These are all things that helps you. I mean, these are all part of your life. That's why for me, when I'm talking about spirituality, it's your true life. And that's why I don't do the philosophical bullshit, because what they're really doing is intellectual masturbation, because they're not really talking about anything that truly taking place, nor do they have the quality of understanding for them to do so. But everybody's using logic, so the logic is missing logics, because your intuition, gives you the extra sight that you need to see things. But anyway, going back to the whole power of words. So what we're truly talking about here, is how things are being said, not necessarily the meaning of a word. And that's what you see in poetry. That's what you see in certain proverbs. And tonight, the one I'm going to be talking about tonight, oh my God. Now, for me to even start to elaborate on that, I got to give you, for you to even understand that, I mean, you have to have some foundation. And that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about tonight. But anyway, making a long story short, going back to the whole thing of the power of the words, that's what I call power of the words. That's why when you see certain quotes, you may be motivated if it's a motivational quote, or you may feel, let's just say, inspired or enlightened, depending on the nature of the actual code. So meaning, even if I were trying to break certain things down to you, communicate or explain certain things to you logically, you may not understand it, but yet, depending on how I say it, then you'll be like, oh, okay. So true power of words, it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And I know a lot of people like to say words have meanings and your intentions. All of that is good. All of that is beautiful. You know, but if you're ready to take it up to a next level, I mean, you know, it's just part two now. So it's really how you say things. And that's why you have great speakers. And they are known for what they do and how they say things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like when you have a motherfucker like Jeff Kennedy that told you, it's not what you asking for your country to do for you, it's what you do for your country. Like even the way he says it alone is making you accountable. Because shit, how did the country do anything? You are the country, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just like for change. That's why you are the way. So again, but the way he was able to say it, the paradox in using those comparison and contrast to make a point, these are the things us great speakers we understand. Because, the quality of how we speak and what we do, that's what makes the difference. And that's why this is not a logical shit. Because once we say how we say it, it somehow allow that transformation or that exchange of knowledge. It allows you, because one of the main things that the power of the words does to you, or those quotes, or any one of these things, or anything that is said a certain way, they automatically bypass your conscious mind. And by bypassing that, it's like what it would take for you to understand what I'm saying. Just by me saying it in a different way has bypassed your ignorance and somehow makes you more receptive. Oh, that's magic. That those qualities, like that's why great speakers, we are known, those ascended masters. That's why these guys are known throughout the world. And those quotes, let me tell you something. This is probably the closest thing you'll ever have to, like, let's just say hypothetically, like I always tell people, there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut, baby. wish there was one. There's none. But this would probably be the closest thing to it in terms of not necessarily. And here's another benefit of those of what I call the power of words too, is that not only those statements are fully loaded with knowledge, but it also enables you, to attain that understanding, although you may not have to go through the fucking experience. Because at this point, you would just be getting yourself ready for when these things happen. And in fact, this is what we're going to be talking about tonight, too. We're going to be talking about spiritual laws, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, going back to what we're talking about. Right? So now I use those quotes, those wise saying, and that's what I call the power of words. And that's what makes them very powerful because they talk to you directly to your subconscious mind. They demand your fucking attention. They make you a lot more receptive, and as you do so now, then you're able to delve more into the wealth of fucking wisdom that those fucking statement has. Unfucking incredible to me. And not to mention, you also get to witness the words with you too. Like I know for me, like even the shit that I'm gonna be talking about tonight, like it hits me a certain way when I hear it. So I literally get to experience how the words are acting on me. This shit's crazy. My interaction with it. And you can almost tell too, and you could also see the same thing, like when people go to church. Go ahead, pastor. You know what I'm saying? It would be something that they heard. Amen. You know what I'm saying? This is the word fucking you up. In a good way, of course. That I don't know. It does something to me, and I really and I enjoy it that way. Like it's really nourishing to me in ways like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I eat, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I gotta have some of that good word, man, because it does something to my mental. It does something to my blood, my heart. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. Like, come on now. Come on. Oh, I need that. I need that. And this is the part that I love about what I do too. Even as I'm sharing this knowledge with you motherfuckers, oh, you best believe I'm feeding off of that shit too. And this is how incredible it is. Even when I'm going through my mind or as I'm putting it together, whatever the fuck, I'm also being fed. So I truly understand the meaning of that type of water. That you'll never be thirsty again. You keep feeding yourself off of it. It's the truth. Come on, man. Bear with me. But anyway, let's stay focused here for a second. So, this is how incredible the power of the words are. Those quotes are packed with fucking wisdom, having the ability to just demand your fucking attention. Come in. And it creeps up on you without even you knowing. And it's just magical to me, if you're asking me. But anyway, and it's just incredible. Feed yourself. You know what I'm saying? You are the great farmer. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to water your garden, man, your crops, and all that shit. Take care of you. And obviously by now you should be able to understand that there is more to you than just what you look like. This is where, being born twice is very important. But anyway, being a spiritual healer, shit. Again, I feed off of that too. But anyway, so that's what I call the power of words. And I guess one disclaimer is that obviously to me, you know, one of one of the things that I always say is that knowledge, wisdom is wisdom, regardless of where it comes from. So to me personally, that's why I embrace all manuals. I'm not subscribed to one set of anything. I embrace them all. And the wealth of wisdom and how my consciousness was able to be expended is just crazy. How also I was able to connect the dots. And that's some of the things that happens as you open yourself up, as you learn how to see things not from one perspective, but from all perspectives. And as you do so, it also expand you, the actual perceiver, the beholder. And that's how you become the best version of yourself. It's all part of it. One of the ways, I should say, to be honest. But anyway, wisdom is wisdom regardless of where it comes from. So a lot of my quotes, they come from various fucking sources. From the Gnostics, fucking voodoo, from Buddhist, I Ching. I mean, I've been pretty much hooked on that. I mean, for the past months. You know what I'm saying? It's been lately. I mean, not just lately. It's been my meditational tool that I use, and it's just unbelievable. The wealth of wisdom that shit. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, and a lot of those like short and statements, and the ones that I'm going to be talking about here tonight too. It's just, it's just too much, man. Like, stop. But keep going. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't want them to stop. But it's just. Come on, man. I love it. I love it. But it's also to say how much it is too. It's really rich. It's really deep, and it's very simple. Unbelievable. You know. But anyway, making a long story short, wisdom is wisdom, man. The truth, it's not gonna be more truer or less truth because it came out of a 5-year old son. I mean, kid. No, it is what it is. But anyway, with all of that being said, in this channel here to give is to receive. That's pretty much what I do, and this is how I do it. Now, if you're coming back, you already know what this is. It's always love. Love is love, and that's what we do. So now let's delve right into it. But first, I need to remember what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I did have it written down, and again, that's been my man, I chain. But anyway, let's get to it. So, the path into the light seems dark. The path forward seems to go back. The direct path seems long. God damn. Nah, you got it from here, baby. Oh my God. Now, for any of that to make sense to you, I mean, again, we're going to have to do. Buckle up, baby. hmm Buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. And again, it's so these are what I call spiritual laws. But for you to understand what spiritual laws are, or why is it even important to understand the spiritual laws? I mean, but first, we're gonna have to talk about the world that we're living in. The Indian called this world Maya. And what that means pretty much is that it means illusion. Now, for you to understand what the word illusion is, because a lot of us guys, we don't really understand what that means, right? So people like to talk about the matrix. They talk about how this is an illusion, this is fake. I'm like, slow down. Which one is it? Because fake and illusion are two different things. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you go see a magic trick, right? Some of the things that they do, they have this coffin, or they would have this lady or this man in a box, whatever the fuck, on the table, where they will split that person in half. You see it. Now, that's an illusion. We both know that whoever they split in half is not dead. Well, you go home and split yourself in half. Or try to split somebody else in half and let me know how that works. So again, illusion, what you see, it's not what it seems like. Like for us, we appear to be a certain way, but this is not who we are. Like I appear to have a body, I appear to have all of this, but there is more to me than what I look like. That's why for you to get to know anybody, I mean, it's cool to know what they look like, beautiful. I mean, shit, you could definitely identify their physical body, got it. But to truly get to know them is to know their character. So you got to go beyond what they look like, and that goes for everything. Everything we do in this world goes beyond what they look like. That's why you have to learn how to love. You got to learn how to choose the right person. How do you do that? Because nothing is what it seems. That's what the illusion is. Whereas when you're referring to something being fake, what you're saying is there's a real thing. There's an original. This is a copy. But a copy that is not of the original. That's not what this is. This is an illusion. Meaning what you see, there's more to it. Even a relationship, even if you're dating someone, you're dating somebody, well, you're dating a whole psychological aspect of that person. So, meaning you're dealing with their mom and dad, you're dealing with their shadow self, you're dealing with all that shit, their culture, the shit that they've been through, shit that they didn't go through. Like, when you say this is your wife, well, motherfucker, this is what you're dealing with. It's not what it looks like. It's more, there's more, a lot more to it. And that's what you're doing pretty much as you're learning about the occult. It's teaching you to learn or to identify the additional aspect of you that is not seen. That's why some of the basic things that the occult will teach you is that you have a subconscious mind, which is under your conscious mind. You don't see it, you don't realize it, but it's more conscious. So truly your conscious mind. But all of that is to say, again, it's reflecting that the world that we are all living in, it's more than what it looks like. I mean, psychological aspect. That's why your spirituality is your fucking life. So, do you see what I'm saying? Your psychological, your mental, like it's you are mental. The universe is mental. Your reality is mental. That's why, as a man thinketh, so he is. These are who you are. Spiritual facts, like these are like a practical matters. And again, I know this is not related to what we're talking about, but that's why I always tell people your subjectivity is your reality. That's why life is what we make out of it. So, meaning your ways of looking at it, regardless of you using facts or not. Whatever those facts are, comes now, it's you. That's why we're all fucking unique and special in our own ways. That's why you should be you. But anyway, going back to the whole understanding of our reality, for you to understand spiritual laws, I mean, that's that's the key. So for you to understand what spiritual laws are, you have to understand your reality. And again, what we're saying here about your reality is that it is an illusion because there is more to it than what it appears to be. That's why for me to get to know you, you gotta pass. I gotta go past what you look like. And everything that we're talking about life, you gotta learn how to choose, look at people's quality, characters, and all that shit. This is also you saying go beyond this fucking whatever, whoever the fuck look like. So when you understand these things and you make them your reality, that's how you master your life. That's why spirituality is your life. To be a better version of yourself, you got to become who you are, which entails pretty much you embracing your spirituality, those divine qualities about you. In other words, for you to acknowledge the spirit in you, or for the spirit to be born in you. However the fuck you want to say it. Do you get the point? See, that's why those texts are your confirmation. They're there to serve you. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So let's just make sure that, what I'm saying, let's just keep it balanced. Let's dance. Let's dance. You know what I'm saying? Let's dance. Right? So because things are not what they look like, for you to understand what they look like, this is where the spiritual laws comes in. Those are what I call the codes. For instance, you're looking for love? Don't go outside of you. Love you first. Because if you're looking outside of you, again, you're looking from the illusion, which tends to separate everything. That's where people have a dualistic perspective. Yes, that's what it looks like, but in reality, how does it work? You. You want love, you gotta love you. And loving you until, yes, not just you brushing your teeth, taking yourself out on a date. That's beautiful. That's what I see most people are showing to show that they love who they are. Got it. But I hope that's not the only thing though. If that's the only thing, you bullshit. Straight up. Because now, how about your fucking mind? How about your third eye? How about your fucking meditation? Those sacred moments that you need for yourself. That's why you realize that every man you need, God. You got to feed that other side of you. And for you to thrive, you have to acknowledge that. I mean, there's no man that's going to become great without fucking knowledge, bro. So meaning that other aspect, the non-tangible part of you. So for you to thrive, so that when they're saying every man needs, however the fuck Jesus said that shit, again, your reality. I'm helping you now to have the proper understanding or to make it practical for your life. because that's what that shit is. And those spiritual laws now help you to those. This is how our ancestors. I mean, those are your confirmation. The story of Jesus is a representation of any and everybody who's going through that transformation, who's going from Jesus the Nazareth through Jesus the Christ. As you're going through that journey, you're gonna be born, as we know, with fucked up people. You're gonna be called the black sheep of your family, the Joseph. You see, the Joseph story is not just limited to just Joseph in this fucking historical. No, that's the story is a representation of what you're going through. This is a guide, a manual. For you to understand that, we put it to you in human form. Well, you're the one going through it too, as you're already in human form. Do you notice in anybody who speak of the truth is always persecuted? How is that different from fucking Jesus? See, that's why you have to breathe life into the letters. Because if you're gonna read the letters just for the letters, that's why they say the letters kill. But the spirit is what's gonna help you to see it. That's why logic. That's why you have a teacher for when you go to the next grade. Although you already know how to read and write, although you have all A's, motherfucker, in your previous grade, congratulations. So that's why too. Even when I was talking about the power of words, that's why when we say things in a certain way and how we say it, that's how it gives it. That's how we're able to touch more people. Do you see what I'm saying? In so many words, this is also the reason why your politicians, will be more known than your fucking scientists. It's that fucking conviction, but not just that, how they say things. Come on now. But anyway, hopefully you got the point, right? But now, going back to those those spiritual laws, man. Those are what I call codes. If you, for you to get to the next door, or to the other side of the door, you got to key in those codes. Those are the codes. That's what you got to use for you to get what you desire. And this is also your confirmation on how to go about it. The thing about loving yourself, that's how you love other people, because now loving yourself gives you that consciousness of you understanding those divine qualities about you. That's why you seek for those things in other people when you find them in you. Is that person a peaceful person? What are the qualities that I like about you? Those kinds of things. But also, it also enable you to seek for them too. Like, now it's not just the look, because now you understand there's more to people than what they appear to be. So therefore, now you learning how to see things beyond the veil. That's why knowing you will set you free. Free from that material bondage, from that intellectual masturbation. Now you're able to see energy. And that's what a psychic is. That's what when people are telling you I'm able to read somebody, that's what you're reading. That energy, their energy. And that shit never lies, bro. You could take live fucking detector tests. You're gonna even pass that shit. But and your energy, never that. That's why when you see like a reader, for instance, could be able to give you a reading on someone, although they are far away, because now you're dealing with that person energy. And when you start to adapt that mentality to look at this life from that perspective, then now you adopt what I call a Godhead mentality. Now you start looking at this life from God's perspective. Then now you understand, you know what I'm saying? You start looking at things from a different, not from what they appear to be, but from a whole different perspective. Now you're using your eyes in a whole different level. Because now you're seeing things not just for what they appear to be, but for what's beyond what they look like. And that's how you get to know somebody. That's how you have a friend. That's how you recognize who your enemies are. That's how you do whatever the fuck. So knowing you, and also this is also revealing it's all mental too. So that's why for me, when I talk about spirituality or being a spiritual healer, one of the main things that I came to understand the ignorance that people has. You know, it's almost like even when you're talking about spirituality, it's almost like people feel like this is something outside of me. Like, whoa, really? Your whole operation, the way you are, this is all spiritual. From your speech, the way you look at this life, that life. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much we are all alone. That's why the key is you. You got to love who you are. You got to find you. You understand what I'm saying? But these are all like the story of Jesus to let you know as you becoming the Christ, as you becoming the enlightened one, there's a journey that you got to go through. And a lot of us, what we go through is going to be betrayal. You know what I'm saying? In so many words, you will not be appreciated by, let's just say, uh, 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 political parties. Not because you're not concerned, but because you're concerned, it's more concerning. Just like I always tell these people, no, 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 no. Like you think you're concerned, you sound good, but the true shit is you are responsible for your life. And if you don't love you, like look at everybody or anybody who have ever achieved anything. I mean, there's a self belief. I mean, shit. I was listening to Tyler Perry saying how pretty much he's saying, man, fuck my family. I mean, that's part of the path. That's you know what I'm saying. In the occult, we say you have to kill your family for you to become you. And of course, it's nothing physical. It's not literal. But this is referring to, you have to become the person that you are. Without them, I mean, if they contributed or give you or inspired you, that's why a true parent, what you do, you encourage the kid to be who they are. So as you do so now they're able to become who they are. That's why you help them with self confidence. You know, when they fall, you support them. The whole support system. This is just to reinforce, to let them know, motherfucker, you got this. You can do it. Become you. Believe in your dreams. Go fly, nigga. But a lot of us, what we're truly doing to our kids, we're fucking them up. And expecting these motherfuckers to fly. I mean, we all say it all the time. The whole generational fucking pattern. It's real. It's real, man. And if you understand that, that's why God means a lot. God is everything. But anyway, going back to what were we talking about? Those spiritual laws. Now that you understand now, the world around you is not what it looks like. So for you to understand that trick, when you go see that magic show, when they cut the lady in half, well, you got to know the rules. You got to know the laws. How do you, let's just say now you go home, you want to do that to your younger brother? Just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't know, you got to know the codes, you got to know the rules. That's what those spiritual laws are. You're looking for love? Well, love yourself first. And as you love you and you do the things that you love, then you find the one that loves you. Do you see how it goes? Do you see what I'm saying? So, but we have a tendency, that's why people are telling you the whole law of manifestation bullshit. I mean, to a certain level, yes. And that's why also, if you truly understand the law of manifestation, then you should seek for the kingdom of God then. Do you see how that shit works? It's almost like the opposite. That's why those paradoxes, I think the I Ching says this: true words are paradoxical, and I got it. In other words, like the power of words, true meanings in everything. That's how we know how to speak to others. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why even in, let's just say, you see that a lot in African spirituality or with the fucking Indians too. Like they go through a lot of rites of passage, rituals. Because as a teenager, what those rituals are doing, they are evoking a different side of you. They know how to trigger it. That's why this shit is not about logic. Now, does that mean we don't use logic, but we understand? Just like, have you ever read a book? I know for me, I have, and believe me, I am. I'm what you would call a nerd, if you wanna. I mean, if there's such a thing. I'm just a nigga who wanted to know, but in the mix of it, I mean, that's just what the fuck it was. But anyway, I'm saying that to say I've read books that I couldn't understand because I didn't have the vision yet. It's not necessarily, you having to understand it, but to be on the frequency that would allow you to understand it. That's why it's almost like this is the funny thing, those paradoxes. For you to go there, where you got to know how to get there, although you never got there or you never been there. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you may not know what it looks like, but you gotta have the fucking address if you're gonna put it in your fucking GPS. If you're gonna go there, and that's what I'm sorry, Albert Einstein was trying to say when he tells you the same mind you can't solve the problem with the same mind that created the problem. But he's also trying to tell you too, almost what I call turn the other cheek. The mind that created the problem, you have to turn the other cheek when that doesn't work. Meaning you gotta that's why you meditate to find the answer. You gotta find that higher side of you. So again, this is all regular shit. So true spirituality, it's not about coming up with, crazy explanation, but it's to give you a deeper understanding of what's already in front of you. Because it is a fucking illusion. Do you understand? So that's why the Kabbalion, when they talk about material science, and I really love the term, they know exactly what they're saying. That's exactly what it is. How do you approach these things when they're not what they appears to be? And then now that's what you go to school to study. For instance, when these niggas are talking about biology, the study of life, what life? What makes life life? How do you identify what they call the living entities versus the non living ones? How do you do that? Would you say color is a non entity? It's not a living entity? How about symbols? Are they not alive? Because they don't fit certain properties? Nah, man. It's deeper than that. So even their logic is not even logical. And this is also why us, the spiritual, I mean, whatever the fuck, or spiritualist, we are the true fucking alchemist, the true scientist. We understand how shit really works. That's why quantum physics, if anything, you guys should definitely be involved in it. And that should fuck your mind up with the shit that these motherfuckers are talking about. That should alone fuck your mind up. Because recently, or not just recently, the shit, oh man, in fact, I tap into something that they were talking about. Part of what they say was, oh shit, I was tapping into that shit the other day too, man. These motherfuckers are good. I can't recall the term that they actually used, but what they were saying is there was a study that they actually did. Then they realized, let's just say, myself as I'm evolving, there's somewhere else, someone else, as I'm doing what I'm doing, who's getting that message. Oh, this is powerful, and I tap into that shit, and but anyway, it's not meant for me to share yet. That was some dope shit. I'm like, God damn, there's a lot more to it than that. But the bottom line is this, though. What they truly doing is they sort of like, that's why they would tell you what you call matter. It's really condensed energy. And that, my friend, should fuck your mind up. That alone should rearrange, rehash your whole fucking reality. And this is science talking about that shit now. Quantum physics. Check it out. Now, oh shit, let me see. Was I supposed to? Okay, okay, we good. We're definitely on track. So we're talking about spiritual laws. Well, the spiritual laws, you'll see, notice the paradox, but most importantly, it's almost like giving you the opposite of what you would desire. I mean, I'm not trying to create, I'm not making this a law. It doesn't have to be the opposite, but it's also that contrast, right? You're looking for something on the outside, well, go inside of you. Like, what the fuck me has to do with, but yeah, but it's you. That's what makes it an illusion. It's not what you think it is. And for you to go about it, that's where you need to have the spiritual laws. So, the very first thing that they told you, the path to the light seems dark. Now, that's fucking unbelievable. Because the breakthrough, now you got to understand this too. That's why Jesus even tell you, whenever you're going through your God phases, the first is always going to be last and the last is going to be first. You got to understand that. See, because this is, and here's something else too, and this is why I've been telling you guys, man, yo, man, you gotta learn, you gotta change the whole, you got shit, you gotta adopt the Godhead mentality. You gotta start looking at things from a God perspective, meaning from a higher perspective, from from a universe, from the understanding of a mental universe. I mean, from the other, yeah, I guess I said it right. From of the understanding of the mental universe, which is the spirit of the universe. Now you have adopted that. Call it Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, whatever the fuck. That's why now, when you adopt, let's just say, a positive outlook mentality, you know, like I always tell people, and it's important for you, like I always say, it's a positive outlook, not a positivity where you suppress the negativity, but a positive outlook, meaning you see the bad shit, and then but there's something greater that comes out of it. And if you notice, this is gonna be your growth. This is always gonna be your new path. That's why for anybody to grow, you have to become uncomfortable. Oh man, listen, man, shit. I've been through so fucking different spiritual awakenings. Nick, trust me. It's almost like, and I was shocked and surprised, but more connected, and that's why this nigga DMX, I have to almost respect. This nigga was tapped in. He was tapped in. He was tapped in. Mm-hmm. So in one of his prayers, I can't recall if it was his prayers or not, but he was saying some shit about God, how things always appear to be difficult. That's why the only way for you to go through anything is for you to go through it. There's no shortcut, baby. True transformation, you're gonna be uncomfortable. And I know, depending on where you're going, or what you're going through now, and trust me, man, shit. That's why I tell you, motherfuckers, man, your spiritual life, true spirituality, it's not what these motherfuckers are telling you. Oh, everything is love, this lovely life. Smell the flower. I mean, this is beautiful too. Don't get it fucked up. I have learned how to appreciate these things too. I mean, we're not. I'm not bashing that. But what I'm saying is, it's not just that. That's all I'm saying, motherfuckers. It's not just that. If you think it's gonna be just that, no. It's transformation. And every transformation, it's exactly what it is. It's transformation. from the roots. And if it doesn't take place from the roots up, there's no transformation. That's why true transformation, you can't fake it. You can't fake. Let's just say if I was a little boy, I was speaking like a little boy, and then now I became a man. If I go through my fucking puberty, my voice is gonna change, man. Like I can't fake my, what I'm saying. This is not me trying to sound manly, naked. Things have changed. You know what I'm saying? In fact, that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? You don't know anything about change. You're not evolving. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what we call the journey, the transformation. Well, if you're gonna go through that transformation, well, guess what, my friend? This is gonna also your confirmation. The path into the light is gonna seem dark, man. Trust me. Oh, you wouldn't even know. And then you would be like, I know for me, especially with my fucking, what I'm saying, with my fucking guys and shit, because I'm highly connected with these niggas, right? And then when you going through certain shit and you're like, nigga, you guys left me? You guys still around? And these niggas, yes, they are. You know what I'm saying? That's when they tell me, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. I mean, you're just going to have to go through that, dog. You know what I'm saying? God damn. They're like, hey, man, are you gonna work with us or you not? That's why I'm like, come here, motherfuckers. But fuck you too, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. That's the way it goes, man. That's why you don't pray for you not to go through problems. Oh, trust me, man. Like, trust me. This is from a how can I say this? A bleeding heart that's telling you that, and that remains open. This is a bleeding heart that remains open, and that's and this is the path, and that's what. And then at one point, it's either what you're gonna turn your pain into your strength, or it's gonna be sufferance, or you're gonna suffer, or you're going to suffer. Which one is it? I'm in my trust. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, give me more. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Fuck. Give me more, nigga. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Add another 45, man, on each side, nigga. Let's go. It's not easy, bro. It's not easy. Not easy, bro. I wish I had good news for you. Hey, man, it's not easy. Oh, it's gonna be painful, baby. But somewhere in the mix, you know what I'm saying? Embrace the pain, because that's when and that's how you're gonna turn it into. You welcome. Don't worry about it. It's on the house. From a bleeding heart. From a bleeding heart. From a broken heart. Come on, man. You gotta embrace your pain. But again, go through the motion. This is not saying suppressing shit now. Go through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Yell if you got to. But most importantly, what works for me is getting the message out of it. Get the message, nigga. Because if you get the message, then who are you gonna fight? Like, who are you looking to fight? What are you looking to do? You got the message? Okay, so you okay? You do you want to complain or what? Now I know for me, once I got the message, that's when I also realized you can't serve two gods neither. It's either you learn from your pain or your pain is bullshit. I mean, you can also learn too and be like, God damn, I got it. But get stronger, baby. You're doing good. Even when that happens, just know you're doing good. Because you're building on your strength. Keep your heart open. Learn how to love with a broken heart, with a bleeding heart. Yeah, I know. I know. You can't tell me shit, nigga. Hey, hey, you can't. Yeah, sway. You can't tell me shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me nothing. Trust me. Well, you don't even have to trust me, nigga. You don't have to. It speaks for itself. So again, to truly understand the Jews, again, this is how that quote in itself. If you don't have that background or that foundational understanding, you're gonna miss out on a lot of shit that this motherfucker's talking about here. And then now the word, the when you're moving forward, that's when you see everybody's telling you, man, when God is getting ready to manifest in your life, your whole fucking life, like it's a turmoil. When you're moving forward, it's almost like you're going backward. Again, another confirmation for you. So as you're going through that, our ancestors and ascended masters reminded us of that. It's not even reminding, it's letting you know, listen, you're doing good, turn the other cheek. This is where you need to turn the other cheek. Look at it from a different perspective. This is my confirmation. Now, I don't know what's on the other side. Nigga, you're going to have to jump. We all got to jump. You got to jump, man. Hey! You're going to have to jump, baby. You know what I'm saying? One way or another. You're going to have to jump. The longer you wait, shit. You already know. You build. You already know. But again, this is all referring to how this is not what it appears to be. And this is why you need to understand or see things from beyond the veil. Meaning a deeper understanding of what you're looking at. Because it's not what it seems. That's why when we talk about Judas, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. People who are acting a certain way in front of you, but yet they're acting differently. You know what I'm saying? Again, you know what I'm saying? Bob Marley said it best. Shit, nigga, let me tell you something, man. When I tell you guys my story, or when that shit comes out, better yet, oh man, it's definitely for the books. Come on, man. This is definitely for the books. You know what I'm saying? This is for you. This is your story too. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, it's beautiful. You know, the things that I was able to learn, dealing with, let's just say, criminals, really got to delve into their mentality, their energy, and truly understand, oh, this is how they think. This is how they see things. By tapping into their energy, it's just something else. Which is also beautiful too. Like I always tell you guys too. That's why you have to understand the science of ignorance. For you to be the bright ones, meaning the one who have the sight to see in this darkness, you have to embrace you. You have to know that you are the light too. You are the way. There's no other way without you. Even when you are being in your own way, you are still the way. And that's when you realize anything you didn't do or have not done in life yet, it's because you're not ready yet. That weight you haven't lost yet, You ain't ready. You know who's not ready? You not ready. Believe it or not, I know. I know. Every time you start, and then you have to start over again. That's good. I got it. It seems like it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you understand these things about you. Like I always tell people, you need to tap into that frequency. You see, when you hear somebody tells you, you know what, I was just tired of being fat. I was just tired. That's when they tap into that frequency. What those motivational speakers are trying to tell you, oh, you got to embrace success like you can't breathe. That's what they are telling you. You have to tap into it. You have to become it. You know, ironically, they're using different words, but we're all talking about the same thing. But what make these motherfuckers hoes? That's why when Jesus is talking about, we call them hoes or thieves because they're not letting you know your true self. They always come to try to motivate you to get to do certain things. Pretty much the same idea of your love fucking the fucking secret, the love manifestation. That shit has turned into another motherfucking hustle. You can have your 9 to 5, but it's like you guys turn that shit to sin. Like like you guys turn that shit because you don't approach it from a sacred perspective. It's like it turns into a material shit. You really need a car. This is what you got to do. Now I'm not saying that you shouldn't be using it if you need a car, nigga. What I'm truly saying here is that you don't have the proper understanding. You didn't learn the proper lesson from what the law of manifestation was telling you. Because if you can manifest this, what does that say about you? Why not have a better grip? That's when seeking the kingdom of God and everything will be given to you. This is when the law of manifestation has become the downfall for a lot of people. Because now the minute, that's why consciousness, you can't put it in a fucking box. True understanding, you can't put it in a box. That's why you'll see over the years, when you try to be logical, that's why a lot of people, they don't understand the fucking letters. Because it was never fucking intellectual to begin with. You have to see it for you. So what we do now, the wise ones, we put it a certain way to awaken again the power through the power of words. That's what we call in esoteric knowledge. It's not, we use it as a way to protect those sacred wisdom, but also as another way to awaken the ones that supposed to see it. That's why for me, like a virgin gave birth, eh, I need to learn more. Tell me more. So, you know what I'm saying? But the dumb motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? This is a miracle. It's almost like that's why we don't see God in our reality, because God is always the exception of our reality. Whereas your true growth comes from understanding this very reality, but you having a deeper understanding of it. That's why you don't fucking love you. That's why you don't embrace nature. That's why you look at change. Everything that we do is wrong. Meanwhile, when you understand you, that's how you thrive. That's why we say, if at first you don't succeed, try it again. Do you know what that means? Your nature, what you calling failure, is you looking at it from a fucking fucked up perspective. Because it isn't necessarily failure. I mean, why do you fall? So you know how to get up. That's why that quote I love it a lot from one of the Christopher Nolan movie. I think it's the Batman Begin or Begins, whatever the fuck. You approaching it from a fucked up perspective already. You know, like you thinking too much. You know, you thinking too much. Like you're not even in tune with your own fucking reality. You know, we practice, we get better. So your attitude now should be let's make more mistakes. Not necessarily to make more mistakes, but let you get better. Does that make any sense? So yeah, you may approach it in the sense that you say, well, let's make more mistake now. We get it, but it isn't necessarily more mistakes. But I get what you, if you were to say that too. But for the sake of what we're saying, let's make more fucking mistakes. Does that make any sense? But it ain't no fucking mistakes. That's how you get better. How the fuck is you getting better is a fucking mistake. That's why you always lose when you stop trying. And anybody and everybody, here's something else too. You're like the step into the dark is gonna seem dark. You know, that's when you see everybody who had a dream, they went after it for years and years. Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? These niggas work hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? But motherfuckers almost like, what, you think you're gonna get a record deal and just make music? You have a lot of motherfuckers that are one hit wonders, man. If you stepping into something you don't even know, you become successful at it, well, nigga, what does that tell you? That's why these motherfuckers, they always grow. They understand you have to become uncomfortable. So it's gonna look like you're going backward while you're moving forward. Welcome to the fucking illusion. But now those spiritual laws is your confirmation. So when you're going through that, remember you're doing good. And that's also what I had to go through too. Like shit, come on, man. Hey man, we all gotta fucking carry our own fucking cross, baby. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, I was watching this thing. There was this portrait of Obama, how he started, and then he became president. That's what I tell niggas, man. Keep going, man. You're not failing. You're learning how to do things better. You're getting better. And if you have to start over, it ain't really starting over, just like they say, which is fucking true. Because starting over, you have more knowledge now. How you starting over? I mean, yeah, you might be starting over, but not over. You see, this is the type of knowledge when you see that helps you to be grateful. That's why I tell people gratitude. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are saying shit. It's a state of fucking. You gotta embrace it. It's a state of mind. It's a state of living. This is when now you get to see the best in everything. Yeah, I may not have this, but I also have that. And this is not masquerading your fucking true emotions, but it's just you, nigga. I didn't understand. Like that's how grateful can you be when you understand or know that even when you go through something bad, but you acquired some knowledge that you didn't have before, and you truly didn't have it before, did you? Otherwise, I'm pretty sure you probably wouldn't go through it. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna feel backward, but most importantly, Those are the spiritual laws. Like, these are the things that will help you now. That's when people would tell you it's pretty much almost the same idea when a motherfucker's going through some shit, and then they would see, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, last night, you know what I'm saying? I had to recite Psalm, whatever the fuck, 3, 4 times. You know what I'm saying? I get it because that's another form of reinforcing. That's what you do when you're doing your prayers too. That's why if you know how to pray, you know what I'm saying? So when you understand you got to go through shit, that's how you get better. Why would you ask God for you not to put you through more shit, regardless of how painful it is? So your prayer should be you should be sounding just like Jesus, like, God damn, motherfucker, I really would not hope to go through this shit, but god damn, I know it's for a better cause. And that's truly what we all had to go through. Even us, what you would call the strongest one. This is our conversation under the tree with God. Like, god damn, motherfucker, shit. I know me and my gods, man. I'm like, but I know these motherfuckers fuck with me. You feel me? Like, damn, man. I'm gonna do those 20 push-ups, man, but fuck you, man. One. And then 20, 19. Nigga, give me more. Let's go. Come on, man. That's why God never gave you anything you can't handle. See, I'm giving you both aspect of it. It's on the house. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just tell, you know what I'm saying? You'll do it for someone else, though. Make sure you share that wisdom. Each one teach one. You hear me? Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'm shit. I'm well pampered, nigga. Truly, don't worry about me. Come on, man. You know, they're not like us. That's why here's something else too. They're not, this is where, again, being the Christ consciousness, man. Your Judas, the people that's gonna hate on you. Again, that story is to let you know this is what you're gonna go through. And as you're going through it, this is also you're gonna be a confirmation. But the story also tell you how things gonna turn out. The Joseph story, which is my life, you already know. It already tells me how this is gonna turn out. You see what I'm saying? But I also have other wisdom too, because we got the sight to see things. So we could see how things. Come on, man. That's why I just remain calm. Listen, man. Yo, I stay calm in the middle of the storm, baby. Listen, I don't know what else to tell you. But you're gonna love this though. You're gonna love it in due time. Listen, beautiful has never been this beautiful. Listen, quality has never been this quality ever since I became quality. Listen, listen. I'm macking. In fact, listen, guys. I'm fucking doing this shit. I'm letting you guys know right now. There is this skit that I saw. It was this nigga, this pimp nigga, right? And then he's walking into this thing. But the way he's walking into it, and then the music, I gotta find this shit because I had it on my IG, right? I'm doing that shit. I'm letting you niggas know right now. And then he was doing this move, how, he was doing this thing. And then when he finally got in, he passed through the threshold of that door. And then as he got up, you know what I'm saying, he had his coat on him. And then the man was behind him and grabbed the coat. I'm doing this shit. Nigga, I'm doing this shit. So I'm letting you know ahead of time when you see my little skit come out, me doing that nigga shit. Yo, I gotta shout this nigga out too, man. I gotta shout you out. Yo, I gotta go back to it, get his name, whoever the fuck, man. I'm doing that shit, my nigga. Like I'm gonna do that shit. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna learn the moves. You know what I'm saying. Doing all that shit. Oh my god. Mm. Anyway, going back to you know that was just random. You know, let's just get back to what we're talking about here, right? Again, guys, what the fuck? I'm wilding. So going back to those spiritual laws, then now you understand why those spiritual laws are needed because they're giving you the code on how how to move through this matrix, for lack of better terms. You know, those are your keys. That's why you need those keys to go to those different doors, and every keys open a different door. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you understand, do you know what I'm saying? And as you're going through them, because when you go through that transformation, Jesus the Nazareth to Jesus Christ, then those are your confirmation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's in everybody and anybody who ever go through that transformation. It's almost like they know they as they going through that they fell in, but yet there's success at the same time. Do you understand what this is? And going back to what DMX was saying, and I forgot to mention that, right? So this motherfucker was saying how, in the middle of the chaos, whenever you think shit's gonna be tough, and then you pretty much buckle up, and then God shows you it was a fucking illusion at the same time. Oh, nigga, listen. These niggas been fucking with me all you know what I'm saying? But I also get it too. This is how they guiding you too. That's why the first will always be last. So when you think you're doing something for a long period of time, and then it looks like you're winning, especially those who are doing it injustice. Oh man, you got something coming for you. But those of you who's doing the right thing, a long time you haven't seen anything yet. Don't worry. Do you see how those messages, passages, verses are there to serve you? And it's just going to be anything sacred about these. It's because it's serving you. So if you don't see how this is serving you, there's no way this is going to be sacred to you, regardless on how cute because the one thing that I also notice about this whole spirituality too, man, it's a sociable thing. It becomes socially accepted. People using it, now that I'm a good person because I love Jesus. Oh, I'm in love with Jesus. Like that's what you see. It's the social thing, what I'm saying, that motherfuckers use to be accepted like as a good person. It's just another whatever the fuck. But your true love for Jesus, you're gonna act like Jesus, nigga. And he even tells you that too. So I don't know whatever the fuck you are reading, But if that's what you're reading, what I think you're reading, well, it tells you you have to pick up your cross. You got to think like him. They said many are called, but a few are chosen. A lot of you look at it from God choosing you, but did you? It's also saying, have you chosen God too, though? Because those of us that you are calling the chosen one, those are the ones that we choose us. We have chosen God too, man. I know you guys like to make it sound like God chose you, but you chose God truly. Your heart that was open, something you felt like that was greater in you. You still had to, yeah, that part or those parts. Those are your choices. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what I also came to understand. So the whole aspect of, let's just say, good versus evil, that's why I understand that concept, and that's why I also talk about, energy vampires. What you're calling your haters, that's what you're going through. When they talking about God and, let's just say, Satan, that's what that shit is. The people, what I'm saying, of the light versus the people of the darkness. Except the darkness, what this is referring to is ignorance. Not darkness, meaning in the sense of you gotta go deeper into you. Because that's where the light is. So that darkness is actually the light. But they're referring there to, that's why you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of you guys, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? If you're looking at the darkness from that perspective, you're making a big mistake. Because if you get in a room that's truly dark, you're not gonna see anything. Just like if you go to a room that is fully that's like fucking bright, you're gonna start seeing when there's a little bit of darkness in it. And if you are in the dark, you notice you're gonna start seeing that darkness gonna be a little more light in it. At least, I mean, again, I'm using the mirror of wisdom. That's what I was able to reflect or see for me. And you're just like me. You probably don't understand what you're going through, or maybe you don't have the quality of sensory that would allow you to process it a certain way. It's okay. That's why you got me. I'm gonna help you developing those qualities side of you. Don't worry. It's in the house. That's what I do. That's the work that I do, baby. So again, going back to those spiritual laws, that's why this shit are fucking important. You gotta. There's no way around it. But better yet, this is reflecting our true reality. So then you understand your real. I mean, spirituality is your life. And these are the teachings that we don't teach our kids. So how do you live in the city of the sand, or in this darkness, or the wilderness? If you don't have that proper understanding, but going back to the mixing of the light and the darkness for you to see, again, for you not to have the misunderstanding of everything that is dark is bad. Because even when you start seeing in the darkness, what I've noticed in that darkness is that it start turning into a little bit of dark. I mean light, I'm sorry. That's when, if you sit in the darkness for a second, you're going to start seeing things a little bit better. and vice versa. If you're in the light and if it's too bright, you're gonna have to tone it down a bit. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think. It's not what it appears to be. So again, tapping into your darker side, that's why esoteric understanding is needed. Meaning you have to tap. This is your inner vision, N word. The Gnostics talking about you knowing. The more you know, the less you understand. I'll talk about that. That's gonna be my next shit. Oh my God, that's another fully loaded statement too. The more you know, the less you understand. But that has a whole other meaning that people don't really. Anyway, look out for it. I got you. Don't worry. It's on the house. I got you. So the spiritual laws is essential for you to understand, especially living in this illusion, because those are your keys to the other door that you need to get to. So as you're going through your journey, so remember, as you're stepping into the light, oh man, it's gonna look dark. As you're moving forward now, it's gonna feel like, or it's gonna seem like you're going backward. And guess what? Your own journey, if there's a path ahead of you, it's not your journey, dog. Your journey is always gonna be, listen, you having faith. And this learning too, that's how we move by faith. This type of understanding, that esoteric understanding, those Christ confirmation. Because this is truly what is not what it seems like. Ironically, because we're looking through our senses, you don't truly see. But understand this, when you start looking from a God perspective, that's how you purify your senses. And of course, by purifying, I'm not assuming this is filth, this is dirt, but yet it's condensed though. It's gross. That's why we don't remember who we are. I mean, we got to go through those different, you know what I'm saying? I definitely got it. You know, that's why through those rituals, it's almost like I know how to smack the consciousness out of you. Like, blah! That's what those rituals does. It's almost like you smacking somebody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, see it this way. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a whole set of not logic, and that comes with it. That's why it's important for you to understand this is not about logic, nigga. Now, do you use logic? Fuck yeah. And the more spiritual you become, then that's why your logic becomes even more logic. Or there's more logical or logics into your logic. That's what you saw Jesus did when Jesus was talking about when they brought the prostitute. Well, then he said, well, guess what? I mean, we understand this is the word of God and everything. Well, whichever one of you motherfuckers who's perfect, well, you throw the first stone. Again, how he said it. Not what he said. Had he said that, had he didn't say it the way he said it, but yet he meant the same thing, it wouldn't have the same impact. So that's why you have to understand too the magic of words, the power of words. But if you're not a spiritual master, or not necessarily master, if you're not, you don't have a message, because those of us who are messengers, that's what we do. But but there's different type of messengers too. You have priests that's where I belong. Then you also have the ones that are addressing to us too. Then you have your psychic readings too, because they're all working for us too. Meaning we are all working together. They're working for themselves. I mean, we're all working for one another. That's why when they have a message, they got to do what they got to do. But now, me having the ability to be a priest, I get to embody what they know and also what I'm talking to you about. You know what I'm saying? I guess that makes me a little bit special. Ain't no shame in my game. I embrace it. It is what it is. I mean, shit. Better for you. Better for you. Let's be honest. But now, anyway, um, you having the proper understanding, of who you are and what you identify yourself with. And here we go again, too. When we're talking about your nature, as you can only, as the man see it, so he can achieve it, or your vision, your level of understanding. That's why you need to change your perspective or to enhance it, at least. If you're not going to change it, or if you are on the right path. But as you evolve, trust me, man. I mean, shit. I know for me, I really, really have to learn how to let go. And yes, my friend, it's not easy. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. This is what I wanted to say. The more you do it, the more you're gonna be. What I'm saying, that's the path. This is where now you're going to attain that level of consciousness. You're gonna become that, let's just say, that wounded warrior, but that is, it's this paradox too, wounded but yet, my heart is bleeding but yet is open. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, so I've been hurt, but but I'm not suffering. You could definitely see the marks on me, but yeah, that's all you're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of you embracing your pain. This is you doing the shadow work. But again, that's also a confirmation letting you know too the path to your growth. That's why it's always gonna look challenging. That's why it's always gonna be even it's gonna look paradoxical. So again, for you to understand that statement, oh my God, a lot was being said, and a lot had to be said just to introduce what this motherfucker is talking about here. Come on, this shit's fucking me up, honestly. Literally. And I love it. I love it. I gotta love it. I don't know. I don't see anything else for me to love. Or not to love. Not to embrace. Let's be honest. But even the level of honesty too requires you to embrace a certain level of you too. Because how you be honest when you're not honest with you neither? Do you see? Like it's to give is to receive. It's another paradox. That is reflecting. This is a key. A lot of you, okay, you want to be rich. Well, okay, how are you serving the community? Walmart is serving people, man. It's giving jobs. It may not pay the best, or whatever the fuck you say about it. All I'm saying, I'm using this to make a point, educational purposes. And if you're feeding the community, if you're sharing your art, that's how it goes. Michael Jackson music raised most of us, not to say all of us. Well, this is him adding values to the fucking community. So how do you just look for money? You don't just look for money. Looking for money don't not gonna give you money. What are you giving to the community? Well, that's gonna give you money. What values are you adding? I don't give a fuck how much. Let's just say that nigga Little Wayne is talking about how he hustled. This nigga got skills, bro. It's funny how well I kind of get it. They always talk about the work ethic, but they don't talk about the quality of the work. Fuck out of here. Again, the masculine oriented culture, I get that too. But in terms of quality, this motherfucker's hot. A million from all the heats that he dropped, nigga. Like, I mean, I know you saying you working hard, but you're not talking about the quality, nigga. As if like dropping a million song don't means nothing if it's not of quality. Now, what that nigga did was dropping quality on top of quality. Well, shit, nigga. I see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, talk to me nice though. I mean, talk to me correctly. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do you see what, you know, again, so what are you doing for the community? But that requires for you to know what what you gotta give, what you gotta share. And that requires for you to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know for me, or even the game of basketball, even the economy, appreciate Michael Jordan, man. But had that nigga didn't have follow his passion and didn't develop that self fucking discipline that he had, or became his disciple. That's what discipline is. You became your self disciple, and that's what people are trying to tell you. Follow your dream. Be who you are. Do you see it? It's all around you. Even these niggas are testifying to that truth. Michael Jordan had this one thing I was watching. This nigga said, I apologize if I made you think that this was easy. To let you know everything he did was fucking hard work, man. Only haters, that's why in the Bible they tell you too, a fisherman recognize another, even from afar. You see, that's why I help people to identify those energy vampires. Because for them, due to the lack of sight, that's why they hate on other people, because they think these people are just, it's not fair. Like they always don't have, and then somehow you always have. Like, nigga. Like, you don't think nobody's working? But they don't see it that way. But I had to tap into that energy. I had to be exposed to it for me to truly process it. I'm like, oh. And then guess what too? You're gonna see these motherfuckers that are gamblers too, even in their own personal life, because they think everything is by chance. That's why they play the fucking lotto and expect to be rich, because it's there's no hard work. Meanwhile, they would do hard work to sabotage your own fucking life. Oh, I tap into. Oh my God, that's why I had compassion for them. I'm like, damn, Those are sorry motherfuckers. Losers. True definition of losers. True losers. That's why you'll see your haters, for instance, like when I truly understand those, it's like they don't want you to have it because they don't have it. That's true losers, bro. Like, how much of a loser do you gotta be? Not only that you lost, now you gotta make somebody else to be a loser for you to justify you as a loser. What? Somebody help me out. Help! I need help. Help! That's crazy. As I was tapping into that shit, I'm like, oh shit. That's why, they're not even a competition. How do you have people who are competing with you, but not letting you know that they're competing with you? Like they're just this is a one side competition. And then how do you lose a competition that the person that you're competing with is not even aware that they're competing with you? Yo, these motherfuckers are idiots, bro. Yo, idiots, man. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Once you tap into that fucking energy and the shit I was seeing, it's like, whoa. God damn. Like, if you want to talk about stupidity, but you truly have to embrace it. And here's the crazy shit. These are the niggas or the people who think they're smart. And that's why you'll see on the flip side of it, the true smart ones, that's why, you know what I'm saying, I talked about this. Not knowing is true knowledge. Because what you're doing is you are acknowledging, and that is as you're doing it, ironically, it's a form of consciousness because you become conscious of what you're not conscious of. So that develop even more knowledge in you. Now you gotta know what you got. It's almost like now you know what you gotta do about what you don't know, versus someone who think they know and then they don't know, so they have no inspiration to even find out what is it that they don't know. Do you see how when you're tapping into that type of understanding, even when you talk to, even that knowledge in itself is gonna sound or appear chaotic too? Because I'm also reflecting that paradox into what I'm saying too. So again, it's all one. The law of gender, all of that shit, the law of correspondence, rhythm. This is why I strongly recommend the Kabbalion to a lot of people. Do yourself that favor. Because this is highly connected too. For me to understand this, the prerequisite, had to be done. And this is what I'm also ironically helping you with too. That's why anybody and everybody who understand, that's why people will tell you when you're getting ready to go through a breakthrough, your whole world is gonna look upside down, and then in the midst of it, guess what happens? Boom. Then people always have that story for you. Man, I was on my last dollar. I was poor. I was this. I was that. Shit, nigga. What do you think my story is? I get it. But this is for the Christ, for the enlightened ones, the bright ones. This is for your journey. This is your confirmation. This is to let you know, listen, man, even the Joseph, they sold you out. Listen, man, even your justice, it's gonna take time. Oh, I knew what I knew. Like for me, nigga, I'm living my life, nigga. I walked through the listen, man. I fear no evil, man. I don't think you understand. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you walk your truth, it made you a word breed, man. The secret is no secret. You know what the secret is? There's no secret. It's the deepest, again, how deeply related are you to it? How deeply connected are you to yourself? That's truly what it comes down to. That's why we hold the mirror of wisdom for you to see you. And when I understand that too, man, that's why, spirituality, although that's what I talk about in my other channel, check out Lespri, by the way. But what I do there, I always take a minute to talk about spirituality to let you know it is a reflection of who you are. It's your life. The very thing that I use here, although I'm using the power of words, but this is all spirituality. This is all spirituality. It's all spiritual. It's all mental. When you understand your essence. As a man thinketh, so he becomes, so he is. This is not a perspective. It's not a perception. It is a perception and an objectivity at the same time. Because when you create your reality, regardless of what you think the truth is, and then what you, let's just say you use as the truth, it's still going to be subjectivity because it's going to reflect you. If you choose to be objective in your whole fucking life, well, this is reflecting you. So your reality is going to be subjective to that. Because it comes from you. Come on, niggas. That's why when I tell people, when they ask me, yo, do you believe there's a God greater than you? Fuck yeah. Yeah. I do. I fucking do. In fact, that's what the problem is. Because that I do, but I also, this is the but it's not contradicting God or that whatever, that higher self, whatever God is. However, let me say this just to make the point, is that I also acknowledge that I'm the one who's accepting it. That's why you and God, you always in God as it is in you. That's the relationship between the Father and the Son. You know what I'm saying? And I came to understand that. Well, guess what? Let's just say I'm Christian and you're not. If you, and I always use this fucking example too, which is a fact. If you Muslim, Jesus means nothing to you. regardless of how powerful. In fact, you'll let me know. You'll show me everything to let me know that what I'm saying is that's not it. And that's what these motherfuckers are doing. And that's what you're doing too when you're fighting, when you have that religious type of shit. So you became better at making differences between those texts, but not at truly understanding, seeing the relationship about all of those texts. That masturbation. You sound good while you're doing it. Okay. You got a million subscribers. You know, to add up to your fucked up interpretation that you already had. This is why the last will be first, and the first shall be last. You think you got something good going on, but it's not the real shit. How do we know? And this is why they always tell you too, a gift from God always take time. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It sure does. In fact, you may want to forget about it. It does of you, because let me let you know now. You know, if your angels reveals to you certain things, and you know about your path, what's gonna take it, just forget about it. Do yourself that favor. But also understand why they telling you about that. It's that guidance. As I was talking about, you know, the whole Jesus shit. In the middle of the storm, the story of Jesus is to let you know as you're going through the storm yourself, and I know I have. You know, in the middle of the storm, that's when my faith becomes stronger. That's when I see through this is a fucking illusion. And then that's how I'm able to rise up, pretty much. But that cannot be stopped. It has to be inside of you. And that's what I'm telling you motherfuckers about it. Because some people would like for me to, come on, you crazy. Do you see what I see? There's no amount of magic that's gonna do nothing. Nothing. You know what? I will disappear so you could believe your shit is working. But in the meantime, though, anyway, let me not waste my time, or even your time if you're watching this, right? Depending on where your level is. What we're truly saying here, it's what makes this a fully loaded statement, because not only is depicting the paradox or the paradoxes that exist in life, and then through those paradoxes, that's what the transcendental knowledge comes in, because you're able to navigate through life and elevate, having different and deeper understanding of reality as you're going through this journey. That's what having that type of transcendental knowledge does for you as you're becoming your better version. This is as you're doing this, but there's a certain amount of pain that comes with that too, baby. This is when, hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. You gotta carry your cross, baby. You know, and I realize some of the best messengers that has a message to share. I mean, we have the worst story, bro. I want you to understand that and to embrace it. It's not. It's the worst because it has to be shared with somebody else. Because ultimately, what we're really doing is making the weak stronger. It's that transformation. So that's why as we go through it in our lives, we want you to know, listen, you're gonna go through it. And this is where too, listen man, to follow the path of God, you're gonna have to renounce to your parents, or so to speak, to kill them. And that goes for everybody. Now, if you know my story, but anyway, let me not go into it yet. But I mean, shit. I mean, I talked about it, not just. Anyway, um, beautiful story, bro. Beautiful story. One for the books, and for years to come. But also the level of understanding that I'm also able to not just learn from it myself personally, but also that I'm helping others to see through it. And through it too, you will understand the whole Jesus story. You'll understand this is your story. Just like we're talking about, everything I'm talking about here is just a reflection and a confirmation for those of us who went through it and those of us who have to go through it. That's why this type of knowledge is for the living, the one who inspired to be more, or to understand that their lives is more than what it appears to be. However you want to dissect it. It's all referring to that deeper aspect of us. So again, to summarize, as we're making the point of, damn, I mean, it's pretty much everything. What was the third? I think there was a third one that I'm missing. Hold up. The direct path seems long. That's what I was missing. God damn it, man. Do you know anybody who had ever, I mean, this is going to be your reality. And when you understand that, that's when, like, the letters now are useful to you because you making sense out of that, out of it. You breathing life into it. Me talking about the Jesus story is helping you now to understand how it relates to you. Because trust me, part of your nature, nothing that relates to you is gonna relate to you. Nothing that you do not acknowledge that relates to you will not relate to you. That's why your perspective is important. That's why your mentality, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but you are the beholder. If you're telling me this is ugly, what are you really saying? Think about it. That's why when people are talking about the world, how much this world is fucked up, I'm not denying that. I mean, is that your only reality though? Then that's when it becomes sad. See, I get to look at this world from being a fucking being in harmony, not because I'm refuting the bullshit, not because I'm refuting that, you know what I'm saying, that the flaw, the that we are not flawless. But I recognize, let me say it this way. Okay, got you. I see perfection in this world, not because I see this world from being a flawless world, but it's because through the flawless, I am able to see the perfection, the harmony. That's why now you can also say, and this is your reality now. Then when you start seeing it from that way, then the people who are truly successful, who are now coming forward to give you the message, to let you know, my friend, learn how to lose. You may not win the war, but you win the battle. Again, dealing with illusion, dealing with what you see. Do not let it define you. Yeah, you could lose today. Did you learn? Well, that's an opportunity for you to win tomorrow. Now, do you see how you're going to win tomorrow? Yeah, no. But when you understand that, then you got the lesson. Well, the opportunity is going to present itself, baby, sooner or later. Trust me. Well, I was going to say fuck me, but no, Didi. You're not going to fuck me that way. Any fucking way. But not to worry about what I said in that sense. Like, worry about it, nigga. It is what the fuck it is. It don't matter any fucking way. You have to wake up to the knowledge. The knowledge is already around you. That's when people have a fucking epiphany. This is you waking up to what was already around you. It was already around you. You just didn't see it. That's why you already saved. That's what that shit means. You're already saved. But again, people don't have the proper wisdom, so that sentence would make sense into their lives. A lot of people talk about Jesus again. It's just for that, to be socially accepted. It's the right thing to do. It's God. Oh my God! But they wouldn't be able to explain why you need God in your life. But the the cosmetic aspect of it, because that's what they're dealing with. The part that makes them feel good, look good, and that's what you see a lot of these motherfuckers. That's what they do. That's why they hide, they know what the fuck they doing, and I'm giving you their true essence because I've been around them, and I tap into the energy. Come on, man, yo, I listen, man. Check out my energy vampire video. I listen. I expose these motherfuckers. And that's why, I get it. Some of them, but they love it too. But they don't know how much they love it. So it shows. It's being shown in a fucking crazy way because they're not in touch with who they are. So how would they understand? And here's something else too. The reason why you also need to be in alignment with you, because it allows you to have a better understanding of what your those emotional baggages may be. Because now you have a better approach on how to, let's just say, if you're reacting to your resistance, okay, what's going on, baby? You gotta have that conversation. You gotta have it this way too. And that's where you get to see people that are telling you, having more of a direct conversation with God and all that shit. However they're saying it, again, it all pertains going back to, again, do you see why God is important in your life? And if you have not figured it out, I got it. Then you don't understand your nature. Then you don't understand what makes you thrive. Every great, or some of the best civilization, they had great symbols around them. You go to Peru, you're learning about those fucking like all these niggas, man. They had Sphinx. They have the statues because I got it. It's just not. It's not what you think it is. They understand you true psychological like how it really works. That's why even when I was referring to biology, talking about the science of life, nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? Life, it's way bigger than that little bit piece of shit. Trust me. Well, fuck. Well, I don't want to say fuck me. You know what I'm saying? No, Didi. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why, again, to know who you are is going to set you free. Because to truly knowing who you are allows you to have a mental and you be able to connect. And it's inevitable because you're going through the fucking experience yourself. Ask me, how do I know? That's when you know, and the more you know, the less you understand. But that's gonna be the next one though, because I got a whole other shit on that one. Come on, to let you know. Again, even on that aspect of life, there's so many different layers and level in life. So when you're talking about living entities, I really gotta question that. You see what I'm saying? You must question that too. We all know how certain things talk to us without even saying words to us. When your dog understand you or you understand the dog, this is a psychic fucking connection that goes beyond logic. And the shit with you and your dog too goes so much beyond logic. When you are connected to your dog, think about the fucking what was the fucking name of that movie? The Cameroon nigga, the actual truck driving up. What was the name of it? Yeah. This nigga had a few successful movies. For some reason, his name is here. I know when you see this, you need like you tell me his name. That's how I know his name is here. But for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to tap into, or I'm not supposed to say his name. Not tap into it. I've been tapping into this motherfucker anyway. But anyway, there you go. Oh shit, the name of the movie it came right here. But anyway, um, Avatar. One and two. But of course, these niggas they have their agendas. Whatever. But anyway, I'm not even gonna spend time talking about that part of the bullshit. But it's just to again reflect to you, even when we talk about spirituality, you see every religion dictate dictate your behavior. I know you may want to say you Jesus, whatever the fuck, but then again, you're looking to convert other people because that's what your God told you to do. To spread the word, all that good shit. But because you don't have the proper understanding of what spreading the word is, or even you know what I'm saying, performing miracles on other in the name of Jesus, which is the name of true enlightenment. When I tell you guys, listen, man, I'm giving sights. I know what I'm talking about. But for others who don't understand the word and the word is not serving you, you know what I'm saying, you're doing it for clouds. for public, I don't know, like to be accepted publicly. Because otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why we're talking about. That's why Jesus is telling you too. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're telling you to adopt a Godhead mentality in a way that even okay for you to behave a certain way, even when people were not watching you, you're doing the right thing. That requires the Christ consciousness. What's gonna help you to actually do that is that Godhead mentality. But again, going back to the statement that was made, it's also a confirmation. Now that you understand the, let's just say, the duality, the two side of the coins that takes place. Anything that is good could be bad, and anything that is bad can also be good for you. And what you think is good can also be bad. And what you think is bad, man, can also be good. And someone who's bad can do good shit for people. And guess what? Someone who's a good person too could also do some fucked up shit to people too. See, my friend, you are the alpha and the omega. But anyway, but if you're not ready for that yet, which is okay, it's totally okay. Um, your reality is more than what it looks like. Those spiritual laws now help us to get on that other side of the door, depending on what door that we're looking to get into. And then you also get to understand, because for you to truly, fully understand, um, again, how influential spirituality is into your life, or that's where you'll see, people will go further too, depending on who's their representation. You know what I'm saying? Who inspired you? Who did it? Oh my God, that alone is fucking unfucking believable. So, oh my God, man, it's so fucking unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm tapping into some shit too, guys. Just so you guys know, and that's what I'm saying. Unbelievable. I mean, it's it, 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 it's meant for me. So, give me a second. Let me just get mine, nigga. Let me get mine. Let me get this. Let me get that. Let me get mine. Let me get mine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let me get mine. Um, our beauty, man. And I wanted to say this too, man. And I'm gonna close out too because it's already past 2 hours. God damn. Anyway, um, again, when you know your essence, then you start seeing, and your essence also reflect to your mental understanding of who you are, and then the universe around you. That's why you'll see a lot of us spiritual masters. We use nature. You know what I'm saying? Like we would say, you know what I'm saying? Like you can only rip what you sow. The same takes place in your personality. The same takes place in terms of your spirit. How did you work on you to develop yourself or your spiritual gifts? Whatever the fuck, that also applies. You know what I'm saying? If you go into the gym, what type of workout are you doing? What type of food are you eating? That's when you realize ultimately it all comes down to accountability. To truly knowing who you are. And those are the people who were or are able to make a true difference in their lives. And those are the people who's been coming forth, the whistleblowers, our ancestors, to tell you the truth. But unfortunately, regardless of how loud they get, you have to see it for yourself. That could be fucked up, or this is also the beauty out of it too. I gotta love it. So again, as a depiction of the true spiritual life and the true spiritual wisdom, is to understand that this world there's more to it than what it appears to be. And now, as you understand that, the curiosity or even the audacity to step outside of it, then you understand it's gonna be a perfect, like, harmony in terms of if we're using the law of gender for a second, the masculine and the feminine that has those orgies that has to take place. You know what I'm saying? Them bumping heads, but not necessarily bumping heads in the sense of, like from a fucking egotistical perspective, but from truly being who they are in essence. The healthiness in that, oh my god. But anyway, going back to the whole story, then when we talking about excuse me, then even the understanding of understanding your essence. Because what's that truly telling you, and not just the essence aspect of it, but it's like a deeper understanding of who you are. But again, going back to even to myself, to what I was talking about here, because oh my god, man, it's hands on. It's something to embrace, to live for. And this is why too, man, it has to be experienced. And the idea or the ideology of you for you to be you, your parents cannot be around. It's not. It's not diabolical as most of you would think, because of course God tells you to honor your mom and dad, and how would at the same time, you saying fuck these motherfuckers and honoring them. Again, the idea is not to do it. It's to the outlook. You know what I'm saying? If and Jesus even told you that too. If your family, if you got okay, let's just say hypothetically, you found out you got cancer in this arm. Are you gonna let the cancer take over your arm, or would you gonna cut the arm off? You gonna cut it off. That's why a friend of mine, I was telling him, man, don't worry about it, man. But you're on the right path though. Like when you get to see the truth, you can't go like this. Was that the truth? Nah, when you see it, you see it, baby. Ain't no going back from it. That's why this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna stop me from seeing what I already see? I already saw it. So you probably need to deal with the memory of that. That's what you're dealing with. Nah. This is when now I'm way too much for you, man. But anyway, going back to, let's just summarize this because I felt like it's it's pretty much about that time, but also for you to fully understand, not just the paradox, but the spiritual law, the proverb that you go across, even that, Psalm 23 that people love to talk about. This is a living experience. When you walk, when you walking with God, you're gonna walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That's how it goes. That's how it operates. And for you to see the results too, like it's gonna be out of the darkness comes the light. That's why we always come forth. Like I understand that. That's the way it operates. It's almost like the breakthrough. I might be talking too much. I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm gonna leave you with that so you understand. It's like, yeah, that's why the first. Understand why the first always come last, and the last gotta come first. And everybody who's going through the Christ consciousness, that's what you're going through. Well, I mean, and a lot more what you're going through in terms of those different realities that you're going to experience. It's almost like you may feel like you wasted your life, but don't worry about it. The last is gonna be first, and I've seen it for myself. It hasn't, and there's certain things that I already see that I listen. That's why when they happen, I'm not even gonna talk about them. Yeah, I'm already on it. That's the type of time that I'm on. But anyway, what this is pretty much referring to is the ability or the urgency for us to understand that there is more to what we're looking at. Because truly, that's what I want you to understand. And everything else, as you have that proper understanding, now everything else in terms of as you stepping into the, yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen, man. Like the more you delve into you, the truth. Oh yeah, it's, trust me. Mm-hmm. And everybody had to, what I'm saying. And at some point, even I was watching this Beyonce documentary, right? So the parents had to sell their businesses to follow that dream, but it got to a point where it was about to crumble. And this is what I meant when, and these people, they understand the miracle that takes place. In other words, they got to experience the whole fucking manifestation. And for me, in my circumstance, I'm experiencing it in a whole other ways. Not only through me being a seer, I already see it. Then I'm gonna have to experience it as it taking place as well. It's just beautiful, man. Like, I get to embrace all this different world, baby. And how do I stay so calm? Well, shit, you tell me. If you knew what I knew, of course, you would have had the same behavior that I have. That's why an actor know they got to tap into another person or embody their spirit for them to act like him. That's why for you now to be with Christ, you have to embody the spirit of Jesus. You see, you say it in everything else, and then you think spirituality or your spiritual life is gonna be different. Nah, that's your reality. Spirituality is defining your fucking reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're able to talk about the law of manifestation. Was the law of manifestation using example that you did not experience? Spirituality is your fucking life. Regardless on how much you resonate with it or not. That's what this is reflecting. That's why we know, those of us who know the wisdom of God, we always open to the wisdom of God. You got to. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. But anyway, man, I'm going to leave it here. Listen, it's nothing but love, but I wanted to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because, it was 911 and then the 999 portal. But, I always, we stay gunning. Anyway, I sent. You already know. We speak thick. Mali.